Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we welcome Francesco from Fleshgod Apocalypse to the channel. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. Absolutely fine. And, I'm super excited because I'm starting now the promotion for the new album Opera. So it's amazing. And, we're getting amazing feedbacks and we're so grateful and we feel so fortunate. So
Yeah.
it's great. And it's
Um,
also weird because I'm watching myself with a little bit of delay. So it's like,
yeah.
wow. But
Yeah. I apologize for that. It's just easier for me with like the editing and the recording. I can just record it all on one thing and then just get it out there quickly. But I know it's a little awkward for you seeing like
yeah,
yourself it double.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I'm gonna focus on you, Ollie.
So this is your sixth album. It is called Opera. It is out on August 23rd via Nuclear Blast Records. Like you were saying, you've had great feedback so far from the two singles that you have released, Pendulum and Blood Clock. How have you found that response, and why did you choose these specific songs to release as singles?
Yeah, so far it's been much better than we expected. I mean, like it's especially the first song when we picked Pendulum, we were a little bit I would say in doubt because it's a slow song. It's a very groovy one, and after 5 years since the last album, of course, Fleshgod fans, would have expected something super fast, So in a way, we wanted to troll them. I mean, in a way, we were like, you know what, this is super cool, and the video clip was amazing, and the whole idea behind the song and the video clip was very um, easy to understand. So it was really on point. So we were like, you know what, let's do this because it also worked as a standalone thing, and we weren't sure back then to we, we weren't I wouldn't say sure, but we knew that we wanted to release the album this year, but we didn't have like a proper plan yet. So we were like, let's go with this and then we see. And as it came out, we were expecting some for sure positive feedbacks, but also complaints by people that want us to go fast all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was the other way. I mean, like it was like almost 100% positive feedbacks, and we were like, wow. So maybe we should release it as soon as possible. So we pushed a little bit the schedule, and try to shorten the times. And in the end, we were like, okay, we have Blood Clock ready, let's go with Blood Clock. It's a fast one, it's gonna be really well accepted by the people. And we are surprised by how positive is the feedback overall, not just for the song but also for the lyrics, for the concept in general, for the cover art. It's amazing, probably the best feedback we ever had. And it was tough because, as I said, it's 5 years since the last album, so we were like concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, in a way, because yes, of course, we do what we like. We don't care about others opinion, but at the same time we want to make music that people like in the end, like. So we are absolutely enthusiast for what happened. So there is possibly is like that. We were like picking these two songs because they give an idea of the whole album, and the next one, I'm not gonna spoil what's gonna be the next one, but there's gonna be another one before we release the album for sure.
Yeah. No, I have absolutely adored the first two singles. The creativity as well that went into the concepts behind the music videos. How did you come up with those?
Well, the concept is the concept is basically the story of my last 2 years,
Hmm.
3 years almost, and it's based on. I'm just telling my accident in a very poetic way. We wanted to, we want to Fleshgodize my story, and we did it. So basically, what we did is to take my story and try to tell it as poetic and as classy possible. Making a proper opera. So every song is an act. So it's it's like a night of the opera in the end. So that's
Hmm.
why we called it opera, because it's a full story. And as I said, every song is a single act, but the overall thing is basically my story. And the video and the cover art and everything else, came very easily this time, because the story was strong and we had a lot of inputs, a lot of sometimes you have a cool idea, but it's too philosophical. Sometimes it's very hard to turn the idea into images. Uh, for a cover art or for a video clip or for pictures, when you move everything from a concept to something that you can hear or see, is always very tough to make. But this time it was so smooth and so easy. So the music came along very easily, like the idea, the songs, the lyrics. It was so easy and so natural, so organic. When we did it, it was like, oh, I have this riff on, and it was immediately working. You just have to pimp it, but not like overthink it. Sometimes in the past we were working over and over on something, and this time was much more spontaneous, let's say. And for the videos and the artwork, for example, it was pretty much the same. In the back in the days, we were like trying to figure out, try to have an idea to how to depict something, or how to represent in a video a situation, an atmosphere, a behavior of someone. And this time it was like much more like direct. And Martina is she's the director of the two videos, did a great job. She added a lot of details, a lot of stuff to make it more epic, more awkward, more grotesque and weird. But in the end, it's basically everything is based on my story. So we are talking about exsanguinating, or I don't know how you translate it, but hemorrhage. It's English. Is it English?
Hmm.
Hemorrhage. That's what happened after my fall. And blood clot is basically like a video hemorrhage. It's basically. And pendulum was the same. It was right before, and when I was swinging on the rope, because it took time before I got rescued. And I stayed there for and like almost 1 hour and a half. And a lot of things happened in my mind during that time. So I was lucky enough to be awake and to like have memories, which are bad memories, but now I can share it with people. Do I speak too much? I always speak too
No,
much.
no, no, no. It's
Yeah,
no.
I'm sorry.
Keep going, keep going.
Sorry, my English. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I mean, I'm getting like a new degree for that.
No, it's a very raw and personal, vulnerable album. I did see a post on Fleshgod's social media where you have the computer screen and you're in the hospital bed. And was it very like cathartic, but also healing for you to start writing as you were
Yeah.
healing yourself?
Yes, absolutely. The picture you refer to is in my bedroom,
Ah,
and
okay.
it's like the first week, like a few days, like 2 3 days after I was dismissed by the hospital.
Hmm.
And the hospital time was the worst. A lot of
Yeah.
people think that the accident itself is the worst, but the hospital time was the worst. And psychologically, probably the year after the full year and a half, that was like really, really like tough. It
Mm-hmm.
was insanely tough. And so what we wanted to do, like what I wanted to do, is that since that happened, it was to capture a little bit the mood, because during the hospital time, I was basically, I wasn't able to do anything. So I tried to, like, it was this will, this desire of doing the album, or talking, or doing new music, of doing things, because I was immobilized in my bed. And this this uh this desire, was building up in the hospital. When I came home, I felt like, I was full of things to say, like really a lot of things to say. And my concern was like, if I miss this, because now I knew it was tough, because like I didn't have my left arm, so I had to like work with the other Francesco, and when we were even like throwing the riffs, I was singing, like mumbling the riffs
Mm-hmm.
here and there, like, because I couldn't play at all, and it was helping me with the keyboard. And but we did it immediately, because I was concerned that if too much time was passing between the accident and when we were starting writing the album, it would have been like fake, just a memory of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we were like, you know what, I'm like, I feel like shit today, let's write Blood Clock. And then and then now the feedback that you have 95% of the time is like, oh shit, I feel, I'm there with you, I'm sharing the pain with you, I'm absolutely, feeling the same pain, the same you know mm, fears, probably also, like the same mood. And so it's like, it's magic, because we really portrayed that. And people watch this portrait, or listen to the music, and or read the lyrics, and can, relate completely to that, so it's amazing. Yes. So it was easy, and it was a really nice and very, weird journey to make.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
sure.
say.
I'm sure. I just recently reacted to Blood Clock, and you can feel that turmoil from even just your voice, and it's crazy that you can put that emotion into there, and then, like you say, others can connect to that. And what do you hope listeners will take away from listening to this album?
Well, you mean what I hope that people get from that? Like
Yeah.
what stays? I wanted to. I really wrote. We wrote an album about death,
Mm-hmm.
about the near-death experience, and about the perception of dying. Because what happened after the accident, which is something very mechanical, you fall down, everything is broken, mess, helicopter, surgeries, surgeons, you know, waiting over and over days. That's what happened. And it's like, you don't realize what's going on for real. I mean, like, it's a mess. It's just a fucking mess, and sometimes you hear something, it gives you hope, and then, oh, okay, everything is gonna be fine. And then 2 minutes later, they wanted to cut your arm, and then it was like, shit. And then, it's like this. So it's such a mess that you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be. Okay. But after, when you start realizing what's going on and how this will affect your life forever, then you start have the perception that you're dying, because things are not fixable, because you're not going to be able to do what you've done so far. You're going to be a different man. You're going to have disabilities forever, and this kind of things is killing you. So the album is has in the songs all this terrible feeling and this fear, constant fear of not making it all the time. You have to fight with your bones, you have to fight with your soul, you have to fight with your, you have to find a medium to make it work, you have to find a routine to make it work, you have to trust the process, you have to do all these things. But in the end, the only thing that matters is how you react to what happens. So the I'm absolutely victorious from this. You know, my I was consistent in what I've done. You know, I try to put in the songs, you know, as much as I could to share my pain with people. I try to do rehab all the time. I try to do exercise. I try to keep myself in shape as much as I could. I try to never lose hope. I tried all these things, and also that it's in the songs, and that's what it matters. You know, so if I have like the final goal of this song, of this album, is that we really can make it. Whatever happens to us, whatever, you know, the way you react determines how happy you're gonna be for the rest of your life. And it doesn't, and even if it's a super short life, because I've seen people with cancer or like severe um, illnesses, especially in the last two year and a half, that have been constantly in the hospital. Like it's basically neurosurgeon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you call it, you know, but basically it's like everything concerns muscle and nerves, because it was part of the mages that I have was for on a nerve. And I was amazed by the people and how they behave, you know, even if they know that they're gonna have like 2 months more, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and how happy they are if they can fix something, even if they are doomed. And I felt like an idiot there, you know, like shit. Well, you know, I'm completely spoiled, and I'm completely, you know, absolutely have no idea. I think I have, but I don't. And I don't know how to live, because they are teaching me how to live. So basically, I put that in one song, and it's called Per Aspera d'Astra. And so everything, all this journey and all the feelings, and also all these teachings that I got from others, you know, are in the album. And I really hope to transmit all these things to the people. And I really hope that what they are gonna get from this album is that shit can happen. You can be like very unlucky in life, unfortunate. It's not my case. I'm very fortunate. But some others, you know, you get cancer, you get like a terrible accident, you get whatever, you know, you lose somebody very
Mm-hmm.
very young. You, whatever is your dramatic and terrible situation, you can find the strength in yourself to make it and be happy and become a man, and you know, like pursue your dreams, and sometimes also your dreams, even the weirdest dreams, because I've seen people with the worst disabilities becoming, you know, like athletes. You know, you see what happens, you know. So it's even the weirdest dream you have, you can, you know, can come true. So it's all about ourselves.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement with you there. Life is definitely what you make of it. Like, it's tough. Of course it's tough at times, and then there's people like yourselves who have been through such a traumatic experience. And then it's that outlook. Of course you're gonna have that trauma for the rest of your life, but then it's that outlook afterwards and how you deal with that and how you then approach the rest of your life. And like you say, it's meeting those people who may only have a month, 2 months left, and they're happy and they're just living day to day and taking it in. And it really does make you wonder, and it makes you think, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I should live this way too. And I'm so grateful and so thankful to be here, and because death honestly is one of my biggest fears. It's not the act of dying, it's just because we don't know
Yeah.
what comes next, you know. And so I wanted to also know, because this is such a personal album to you, do you have a personal favorite track on the album?
Oh,
Or is that just
yeah.
hard because it's just such a journey from
I
beginning to
have
end?
a personal favorite track that because yeah, I would say that it's not my personal favorite track. I think the music is very cool. The whole album, musically wise, is very cool and very balanced and very dynamic. So I cannot say I like this more than others, uh, musical wise. But lyric wise, I have a favorite one, which is Matricide, because it's about my sense of guilt, and it's about my uh, it's about the relationship that I have with my mother, and not my mother but my parents in general.
Mm-hmm.
And as a father, how I felt guilty, even if I did everything right. What I've done, and all the choices that I did were very rational all the time, still led to something horrible for these people. And I wanted to, in a way, apologize, but also in a way explain, you know. And I think that, especially in that song, there's this psychological calvary that I have been through, and I still go on. Sometimes, you just it's you sometimes you cannot help, it happens again. Your mind is a weird machine. So
Mm-hmm.
uh but more and more, uh, like a couple of questions ago, you asked me if this helped me, was part of my healing process. It was absolutely, because I couldn't keep this all for myself. It's if you keep all these things for yourself, you're gonna be unhappy like 101%, because it's not just the memories, it's also all the feelings. And the majority of these feelings are negative. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to share. You have to say, okay, you know what, I always deal with life by myself. I always been super arrogant, and I always been I always done everything by myself. But now, if I have to grow as a man, if you have to evolve, if I really want to save myself, I have to share, and I have to take a step back and let the others help me. And that's what I've done, and was tough. But I'm very thankful that they took that decision, because now I'm here talking to you, and it's probably every day is the best day of my life now.
Yeah. It's
So
it's definitely hard opening up to others around you, even though it helps, and of course, like, music is therapy as well in a way, and I can see how that helped you. And also, just even though you did it in like a poetic way, you still got your feelings and your emotions down on paper. And that's something that's also helped me, just writing what I'm feeling down and just getting it, like, purging it from myself, in a way. So it's interesting to hear how we, as a human species, as a human race, deal with what we go through on a day-to-day basis, and what we do with that. What are your goals for the rest of 2024, like, personally, but also as a musician?
well, now we are gonna start touring with,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm very, like, excited, because we have, like, amazing tours that are aligning. So I really can't wait. We kind of took the summer off, because we wanted to follow the release very, like, closer than on the other albums were, like, dropped, and we were already touring. It was very messy. This time, when what we had the opportunity to say, you know what, we can take the summer off and follow the release. So we're gonna be on top of everything, and then we're gonna start touring in the fall, and so we're gonna start touring in the fall, and we're gonna have probably 1 year and 1 year and a half touring on opera, and maybe later we are gonna even try to make a round of tours where we play opera in its entirety. So we'll see. It's an album that it's probably the first album that we really can do it. Like it's I wouldn't say it's meant to be like that, but it's the first time when it was done, we were thinking, you know what, this is the time, maybe we can do something like this. And so it's a lot of touring. We're releasing new stuff, of course, before the album drops. And personally, I have a lot of things going on in my life now. So uh, it's I'm not like I put all the private things that they could in the album. The rest I
Mm-hmm.
keep it
Mm-hmm.
for myself. But I have very, very exciting things uh, happening in my family in the next few weeks, and so I'm gonna announce it. And so I'm very thankful. I'm very So we can stay here 2 years, and there's not gonna be enough time to thank the
Yeah.
the I'm a survivor. So
Right.
I think that from now on, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be happy just because I've seen how shitty could be. So in a way, I was unlucky, but in a way, I was lucky because my life became better.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so yeah.
No, it's also good to keep to keep some things private and just for you and for your family as well, and I
Yeah.
feel like I think that's probably one of the issues some influencers have out there. They just show everything, and it's like, no, you got to keep some of that just for you and for your family, and to celebrate those little things. And um I wanted to ask, you've already touched on it a little bit, but if you could offer some advice to anybody who is watching this who has possibly gone through something similar to you, or are just generally struggling, like what piece of advice would you give them?
Three things. The first thing is that you have to really trust the process, whatever is a process of healing. You have to go to therapy, you have to do rehab, you have to have a good friend, you have to find a good partner, whatever, and you have to trust it. So you have to have hope. That's the main thing. But hope is not enough. The other two things I would say are, the first thing is probably uh, the first thing is realizing rationally that everything is possible and that you can make it. So it's hope, but also like consciousness, let's say. But as I said, it's not enough to make this process work. You need other two things, and one is consistency. You have to find a method to make it work, and this method is very personal. It's like a diet.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, it's like a diet. You cannot say, okay, I want to lose weight, and something works for me but not for him or not for her, and the other way around. It's the same thing. You have to find a method that works for you, and this method means like create a routine. And even if you cannot see the results immediately, because sometimes it doesn't happen, you have to trust the process and keep it and going on, because it's the amount of hours you do it, the more you're gonna heal. It's there when they say, you are an example because you made it, because you are inspiring people now. And I said, yes, but it was terrible. It wasn't easy. it,
Mm-hmm.
it looked cool on the Instagram because I post a picture of the day I'm happy, but the other 1000 days I cried, or I was like shitting my pants because things were not going like I wanted, they were there. And the only thing that saved me is this consistency. Every day I did my part. So this is very important on the practical, side. And the other one is psychological. You have to talk about it. You have to say it. You have to tell to your partner. You have to tell. You have to find someone that want to listen to you, and share the pain, and share the feelings, and share the fears, and just tell what's going on in your mind. And that is part. And is that easy? No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's necessary, because you have to heal your body, and you need a routine to make it. And also you need to heal your soul, and you need a routine. And the routine is probably even once a week, once a day, whenever you have the opportunity to talk to a doctor, to talk to a friend, to talk to your parents, to talk to your kids, whoever. But it's really important that you share your fears, that you share your struggles. Otherwise, your soul is gonna slow is gonna slower, or even contrast the process. So this is the 3 points. You have to be hopeful and think that everything can happen. You have to find your strategy and do it over and over. And you have to find someone to that is reliable, and confess what are your feelings and your fears.
Yeah.
That's like my advice. Is what I and this was what I've done for the last 3 years. And many times, as I said, I felt guilty, I felt ashamed, I felt scared because things were not working. But you know I kept going. You keep going, and then after 3 years you see results. And I know it's tough, because you have to wait, and you have to be patient, and super frustrating. But there's no easy way to make it. you know if there was, I would have said that and I would have tried it. But unfortunately, at least for my experience, it's like this.
Yeah. No, I agree. You definitely you need those three things for sure. I mean, even if it's just everyday general struggles, you need that hope, you need that consistency, and you need somebody to talk to. It doesn't matter who that person is, whether that's a professional, whether that's somebody you can confide in within your
Yeah,
friend family circle. You need that person, because otherwise it's just going to get stuck in here, and it's just going to go round and round and round, and you need to get that out. Well, I'm
yeah.
not going to keep you much longer. I was just wondering if you had any last words for people watching this, of thanks or anything like that.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And I want to thank everybody that listened to the first 2 songs, everybody that supported us for the last 5 albums plus and things that we released, and they came to the shows, and that made it like helped us to make it here. And all the people that, despite what happens with all the obstacles we had, and how we tried to fix the issues that we had in our career, they always supported us, no matter what was our choice, or no matter what we were doing. And that's amazing, because we really felt free to do whatever we wanted to. And I think that this kind of honesty, it's also perceivable in the music. So I'm really, really thankful for that. And a lot of people say, a lot of bands say, we have the best fans of the world. I don't know if we have the best fans of the world, but for sure we have the best fans that Fleshgod could ever imagine. We sometimes we almost feel that we don't deserve you. And And I really hope that people will like opera. I really hope that people will come to the shows where we play the new songs, because I think live they are even more entertaining than in the album on the album. And yes, thank you very much for everything. Thank you very much for making us life better.
Well, thank you so very much, Francesco, for being here and for taking your time to chat with me today. It's been really, really interesting. And of course, guys, the new album, Opera, is out August 23rd via Nuclear Blast Records. I will leave that pre-order link down below in the description, along with all the links where you can find Fleshgod Apocalypse. Please go ahead and follow them, subscribe, all of that. It really does help. Again, Francesco, thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure. See you next
Bye,
time.
guys.
Goodbye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.